Hi. Okay, welcome to WebLab 2025. My name's Stanley. I'm one of the co-presidents.
My name's Andy. I'm also co-president.
Just some few things to go over really quickly while we go over like sort of our intro spiel. Make sure you have done the setup because we have workshops today, so you'll be following along. And you won't be able to do that if you haven't gotten your stuff set up. So if you haven't, go to weblab.is/homework0 and just make sure you finish the setup. If you already have it done, then good job. Okay, let's talk about what WebLab is. So WebLab is essentially a web development class. We teach front-end to back-end, full-stack web development. We have free lunch every day of lecture. We also run a competition for the second half of the class throughout IAP, and there's a lot of cash prizes for you to win. And if you register on WebSys, we are graded PDF, and we give you guys 6 units of unrestricted elective credit. So this is this year's course staff. They're sitting over there. They'll be the ones helping you throughout this class, and yeah. So some more reminders. Make sure you're registered on the portal. The portal is also where we send email communications, and it's also where you guys are going to be submitting your milestones. So make sure you have that done. Also join the Piazza. We're going to be posting a bunch of important info on Piazza, and also it's a great place to ask questions. So make sure you have that done as well. The lectures will also be live streamed and recorded to YouTube, and you can join the live stream at weblab.is/livestream. The lectures are not mandatory, and we don't take attendance. This is just purely what you put into the class is what you get out of the class. And yeah, you can also join the Zoom directly if you just want to watch the lecture being streamed. We'll go over some logistics now. So the competition is not mandatory. It's a second half, and it's completely optional. But we'd highly encourage you to submit your website anyways, because who knows, maybe you'll win some cash. We'll also have live help during the workshops and the lectures. And you can go to weblab.is/queue, and then you can just create a ticket, and we'll be walking around helping you answer questions and stuff like that. You can also go to the questions doc at weblab.is/questions, and here you could just ask questions anonymously. There's also an old doc with questions that were asked in previous years, so you can also check there to see if your question has been asked before. And then we also have weblab.is/info, so you can go here to find a bunch of useful short links, resources, stuff like that. And we'll also have a team finding mixer at the end of lectures today. So if you don't have a team yet, don't worry. You can stay after class and find some people. So here's a little course overview. This is our general schedule. So week 1, we're going to be sort of laying the groundwork, learning the basics, and building an app from scratch together. Week 2, we're going to start getting a little more complicated. We're going to add some cool features, go into some advanced topics, and also get some sponsor lectures. And then week 3 is where we're done with class, and now we're entering the competition phase. So now you're going to be working. You can either submit your website to the competition or just simply for the milestone for credit. And then week 4, you finalize your projects, you make your final submissions, we're going to judge them, and then we go to the award ceremony. And you can check the schedule on the website if you need any specifics. So we take you end to end, and what that means is we take you from front end to back end. The world of websites is really big. There's a lot that goes on with something like Facebook, Club Penguin, ChatGPT. So how does it all work?
Yeah, so this is just a bit of like an intro to what you'll be seeing this week and sort of next week. Anytime we access a website, we're going to Chrome and then entering a URL. But what really happens, So you are the client. Think of yourself as a computer. And think of the server as just another computer let's say like Facebook's computer, where you want to send a request to get like the website that that you put into your URL or into Chrome. So essentially, you're sending a GET request to Facebook to get the website that you want. And this computer responds because it stores and serves the website that you're actually requesting. So it responds with the web page files, which are then taken by the browser that you're using, probably Chrome, which is then used to view the website. So that's how we see everything on the internet. We have URLs, and then we request websites from servers. We get back those web page files, and then we see whatever we see on the screen. So it's a pretty oversimplified view of the client-server architecture. And then these actual web page files that we're receiving are HTML files, which display content like the basic building blocks, CSS files, which style the HTML, JavaScript, which lets these files, I guess, have like actions, and then assets like images, GIFs, etc. Yeah. So what exactly are we going to be building in this first week and leading into next week? I'll open up this website just for you guys to see it really quickly. But essentially, we're going to be building this entire website from the ground up. It's going to be called Catbook, and you can also visit it by going to this link. But it's going to have like a homepage, a profile, live chats, a game, and then other aspects as well, such as authentication. So more about the course now. There's going to be 4 milestones for everyone to complete if you're taking this class for credit. Milestone 0 is going to be due this Wednesday, and it's going to be ideation. Essentially, you're just going to be creating a list of topics or project ideas on a Google form and then submitting that Google form. It's pretty simple, and it should really only take like an hour or even less. But yeah, we'll be sending out information soon for that. Next is project pitches. It's going to be this weekend. You're going to have to sign up for a time slot for some slot either Saturday or Sunday from 1 to 5 p.m. It's going to be around, I think, 30 minutes or maybe less. But at this point, you would have like a project idea, and you would be pitching your project to some of the staff members, and we'll give feedback about it, and hopefully give some helpful advice about like how to get started, what pitfalls you might fall into, and how to, like, I guess, navigate the entire course. Milestone 2 is pretty long after. It's going to be Wednesday, January 22nd, and this is your MVP. So some sort of working prototype for your project. We're not expecting the whole thing, but we want to see like a lot of functionality already figured out by then. And then the final website, Milestone 3, is due January 29th. That's around the end of IAP during week 4. Any questions about these milestones? And as a reminder, passing the class just requires you to do all 4 of these milestones. So it's not too hard. As long as you put in effort and it's clear that you have, then you'll be on your way to passing the class. So more about like the actual websites that you will be building. So you'll be building some dynamic website supported by a backend. So not just like a front end that you might be able to build through like some website builders. You're going to be creating pretty much the whole thing yourselves. So front end, back end, database, everything is going to be built by you. We want the website to have personalized experience based on user accounts. So some sort of like authentication like you saw on the example website. We want it to be different based on like who's logged in. Minimum security requirements fulfilled. This isn't that big of a deal, but yeah, we don't want your website to be like a vulnerability or whatever. We want you to be creative and have your own original design for the website and implementation. A lot of the code is going to be given to you from the skeleton code that we'll provide. But past that, we'd like you to implement as much as possible yourself. All of the code should be your own. And then if you do use any other outside code, to just cite it properly and I guess limit that use if possible. And then everyone should have a GitHub repo by now, or if you haven't already, that's okay. You should have received instructions from an email to set up the GitHub repo, and this should be shared between your teammates. It's only private to you guys, and we can also check out this repository so that we can help you on our end. Some cannots for the website. You cannot create a website using pre-existing website builders like WordPress or Squarespace. You cannot use any part of a previous project, just so that the playing field is level for everyone. You cannot outsource your development. You can't tell your friends who are really good at web development who are not taking the class to do the website for you. We hope that this class is mostly just an opportunity for you to learn by actually creating. Yeah. So for judging, there's 4 categories. The first is functionality, so just whether or not your website works as intended. These are the technical components, and we'll just be playing around with your website to make sure that it's working fine. Usability is more about the user experience, making sure that the website is easy to use. Aesthetics, self-explanatory, and then concept execution. We want your website to sort of have a purpose. The main use of web development is really to just create products that are actually useful or achieve some goal. So we want your website to do something or solve some problem that you have come up with a good solution. Okay, so how do you get help throughout this entire course? Number 1 tool is Piazza. If you haven't already, please join weblab.is/Piazza. Ask questions at any time. I think our average response time is 5 minutes during the course. We're constantly on it, answering questions as fast as we can. Go to the course website if you have more questions about the course logistics. If you want to visit the schedule, if you want to read the rules about the competition more. Visit the course website /info or weblab.is/info for resources. It has all of the link shortened links that you can. I'll actually just open it. At the bottom, you can find all of the things that we're pretty much going over in these slides, as well as more information about the contest here, and then FAQ. And then please show up to office hours too. I think in-person feedback and help is a lot more useful than Piazza actually. Yeah, so office hours are usually 7 to 9, and you can find them on the schedule. So yeah, today we should have office hours from 7 to 9 p.m. If you need help with homework 0, setting stuff up, please show up. Or if you have other questions from lecture, also please show up. Office hours are going to be in 32082, so in Stata Center. And then finally, we have extended office hours called hackathons. They basically run from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. So our sponsors are going to be there as well to sort of see how everyone's doing. But yeah, these are during week 2 and 3. There's going to be 2 of them. There'll be food provided, drinks, etc. It's pretty fun and very helpful. Okay, yeah. So what else is there to WebLab? Besides just building the website from scratch, you'll learn a lot about UI design, learning version control, which is really helpful in all the MIT classes you take in the future. This is what I was referring to earlier, Git. If you're not a Course 6.3 or some Course 6, this is sort of a taste of Course 6.3 at MIT. Hopefully you enjoy it and take more CS classes in the future. And then if this is your first time learning web development, hopefully this is a great first experience for you to create something, create your own thing from the ground up. And much more. So most importantly, WebLab is not a classic MIT class. It is run during IAP, and we are on the PDF scale. So you're only graded pass-fail, pretty much. As long as you do all the milestones, you'll be good, and you'll receive a pass. Make sure that you're also in the portal, once again, so that we can actually mark down the milestones for you. It's also all student run, so everyone who's a TA or a staff for WebLab is here so that your experience in this class is as good as possible. We want to help as much as possible. That's why we're TAing this class. And at any time, if you have questions during class, please visit weblab.is/questions or weblab.is/Q. Q lets you ask a question on a ticket, and then a staff member will actually go and visit you to help answer your question in person. WebLab is also just a great opportunity for you to meet new people during lecture, during office hours, and hackathons. Hopefully, you'll spend a lot of time with your team to create a website you guys all love, and then you'll have a great time. OK, so the last part is every year we have a theme. In past years, the themes have been around the world, remember the future, and then 2 years ago it was you and I. Last year it was send it or blend it. They're pretty open-ended, but this theme is essentially what, your website's going to be sort of some take on this theme. Hopefully it's open-ended enough to the point where you can just do whatever you want and adapt it, sort of relate it to the theme. And as is tradition, we have a theme reveal video